Oh, okay, good. It is the right one. I mean, the correct one. Okay, so, hi. Merry Christmas. Oh, I forgot to say that. Oh my goodness. I'm determined to say Merry Christmas every day in December, unless it's after Christmas, and I'll be saying Happy New Year. Um, yeah, nothing real exciting today. We're just putting these in. There's glass instead of doors because I don't actually have that door with me right now. I I would show you what I did on Minecraft Preview because the only reason why I was playing it is because I can get points for Game Pass. And I am trying desperately to get enough money for three $10 cards so I can put them in to my account so I can get the DLC for Dreamlight Valley. And my husband made me a deal. If I can get the $20, which I have, then he can get me the 10. But I don't think he remembers that. He's probably gonna say I never said that, but he did. Of course, that was when I didn't have enough to, hold up my end of the bargain. But anyway, um, if not, now I usually get Christmas money from my dad, and hopefully that'll cover it. Because apparently you cannot use a gift card to buy a gift card, which is good, but it's also bad at the same time because I get legitimate money from the survey company, and that's been helping out a lot. And if I could just use that to get my Xbox card, then that would be great, but I can't. Oh, my Xbox account. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, whatever you call it. Yeah. I need that DLC, but then also I want to get um it's apparently Peaceful Pines and Corrupted Forest or something like that. Two different DLCs for my Golf with Your Friends game. And I'm looking forward to getting those two because then I'll have something else to do. I have some more ones that you haven't seen all that often. Well, you've seen Bouncy Castle tons of times, but um, Mount Olympus or whatever it is, I don't play that one very often because there's parts of it that I can't stand to play. It's just a little too hard. If it had bumpers like, when you're bowling and, your kid doesn't want to get a gutter ball every single time, so you put up the bumpers, yeah. If they did that, that would be different. Okay, so I didn't get to work on my story yesterday because um it's a first of the month thing, because you get more Game Pass points by playing 8 Game Pass games. Well, 4 Game Pass games and then four more to make 8. And yesterday I was having a tough time because the thing didn't want to count it until you went out of the game on most of them. And I was very confused about that, but we got through it. I played, what did I play? Okay, so I played Minecraft, Golf with Your Friends. The name of that one just went out of my head. Dreamlight Valley. Wow, Disney's Dreamlight Valley. And then, Forza Horizon 5. So that should have been fine. Actually, I think we did, Zoo Tycoon first. But anyway, then Forza Horizon 5 and that skiing game. Okay, wait. Minecraft, Dreamlight Valley, Golf with Your Friends, Forza Horizon 5, and the skiing game. That's only 5. And then I played Minecraft Preview. That's 6. I did not do Crash Bandicoot yesterday. Oh, and Zoo Tycoon, so that's 7. I can't think of what number 8 was. But it was like Minecraft Preview came in clutch. It was number 8, and it very much helped that I was able to play it. I didn't do anything fancy. I literally was building another upside down tower. I don't know. I seem to be the queen of upside down towers. I'm not saying I'm like perfectly great at it or anything, but I seem to like to build upside down towers. Upside down tower means that it's kind of like a tornado where the skinny part is at the bottom and the big part's at the top. So I don't know what my ultimate goal there is, but it wouldn't let me record it, and I was just a little bit upset about that. Just a little. Because I wasn't doing anything that was going to be, they don't know that, but I wasn't doing anything that was going to be, top secret or anything. I was just building it in Minecraft Preview because it happened to be a separate game from Minecraft, and I could um, play it, and ugh, anyway, I could play it and get the points. So anyway, I kind of had fun yesterday. Basically, I took a day off. We did. Okay, so we started the Doomsday heist on GTA, and we got to a point where we needed at least a third person. Would have been even better if we would have had a fourth person, probably. But anyway, we really didn't need the fourth person, but it would have been better. But anyway, we got everything done except for the finale yesterday. Um, we went from the part that we left off on the day before, and did all of the rest of the setup part, and then we just have to do the finale. And I've never done it as the host of the finale before, so um, basically I let my husband and my son do most of the work, and I do help out shooting. But I was getting angry yesterday. There was bad guys that were Freddy Krueger zombies or something, because I shot them in the head and they were still alive. Wait, I shouldn't say that on Minecraft stream. Sorry. Um Oh, if I didn't say that before, I think I did. But Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Yeah. I'm loving this time of year at the moment. I want it to snow though. Even if it just snows for Christmas, I mean, I want it to snow more than that because it because it makes good content for one, and people that don't normally have snow are like, the snow, and then people that don't have deer around their house all the time are, that has nothing to do with the okay, wait a minute. That has nothing to do with snow, but people that don't have deer around their house all the time, they think it's a cool novelty that that we have deer. So they watch those too. So I have a folder on my channel, on my YouTube channel, that is called something like cats, dogs, squirrels, deer, cats, dogs, squirrels, whatever, something like that. I wanted to make it as specific as possible for some reason, and and I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that it was definitely, the animals of the world. If we happen to go to Tahoe and happen to see a bear dumpster diving, we'll probably have that in there too. From a safe distance, of course. So people take the bus in South Lake Tahoe a lot, and we ended up, back when we still had our kids, so like, you know, um, I don't remember our son being there, so maybe 2006, 2007, something like that. Anyway, my mom was with us at the time, and um, we actually, from the bus, saw bears. Um, there was like a mama bear and two babies, and they, uh, she was sifting through the trash trying to find pizza or popcorn or whatever went in that dumpster. Just trying to find something to feed the kids, And apparently up there they love their people snacks, you know. Not snacking on people, but stuff that people eat. So yeah, they really love that kind of thing, I guess. So one of the bears up there, while my father-in-law was working up there, um, at one of the hotels, one of his jobs was to make sure that the bear was not using the swimming pool. Of course, the bear's not staying, not a paying guest, so he's not allowed in the swimming pool, but he had to chase him out a couple of times. That could be the dad bear. I just thought of that. Or Mama tucked the babies in bed and was like, I'm relaxing. But it's not good because, all that chlorine. And depending on the balance, depending on the balance, oh, you know what? Okay. Anyway, hi. Good. Okay. So, we have a chatter. Uh, Linetra? Not sure if I said it correctly, but 03. And okay. This day I could say Luna. That's a whole lot easier. I like interesting names. I just I'm not very good at pronouncing them sometimes. Or like if somebody had um a book all in Spanish, I'd be able to pronounce it pretty good, but I would not know what the heck I'm reading necessarily. Okay. Oh, you must be in a different time zone than me. 3 different cats than when I wrote that, though, now that I think about it. Um, so, my about the author kind of thing for my channel probably says that I've got 3 cats, but it didn't say their names. So it's good because Coral passed away in January on the 23rd, 2025. And a couple of months later, in March, I think, we got Bobby. Because my sister was determined that they were going to move and didn't want to lose Bobby because Bobby's been trying to get outside the house lately when she's at my sister's house, because she's my sister's cat, technically. And what's that say? HIV? What is HIV? Or HIV? It said HIV, Nevada, whatever it said. Weirdness. So I'm under the impression that if I give out first names, nobody's going to be able to tell which first names those, they're not going to match them up to the real people. So I don't feel stranger danger that way. But normally my son would like mean to say squibs instead. Ah. Maybe I should have breakfast first. Okay. Hmm. So, yeah, that reminded me. Just in case you haven't watched me like forever, um, this is the world from my stories. I call them my stories. I just, I don't know why. I just don't like calling them books until they're in book form. Um, but this is the world from my books, and if we can ever finish this part of it, maybe we can move on to something else. Well, we'll definitely be able to move on to something else, but, yeah. So yesterday in Minecraft preview, I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about this or not, but I wasn't building anything special. I wasn't playing with new features or anything like that. I was just, building an upside down tower. So, I thought it was pretty cool. I'm kind of tired because we went to bed at after midnight last night. But I'm not as tired as I was yesterday. Yesterday was a rough one because I stayed up until 1:30 or 2:30 or something like that, trying to get the puzzle to give me the points. It was ridiculous, but we finally got them. But that was after, staying up until 1:30 in the morning trying to get my book done. So, yeah, that was crazy. Okay. So another person offering me help. I think I'm doing pretty good without help, but okay. You know, I'm always willing to, find out what they, uh, okay. I always, at least want to see it. Oh, did I even spell it correctly? Yeah, I've typed it so many times. Okay, perfect. I've been getting a ton of Discord friends. Only problem is I can barely use the program. I'm not very good at it. I was trying. Okay, so a couple of the people I watch on YouTube have a Discord, and they're like, submit your pictures, and you can get help on it, or you can just show it off, or whatever. And I went to go submit it on there, but their categories didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, and I don't know if I put in the correct spot or not. Um, I think. I didn't realize I had one, but one of my books is cheaper than all the others. I mean, two of my books are cheaper than all the others, but out of my pirate books, one is cheaper than all the others. It's $15 instead, so it was only going to be like $22.70 for me to get it. Well, I ended up having to sign up for and we need to turn that off now that I have the book. Um, free shipping and handling. I can't afford to keep up on it because it's $15. So, so we're gonna turn it off as soon as we can. But I was able to get that, and I was really happy about it because I still had $6 left over for shopping next time, and yeah, I loved it. And yeah, so for the next book, the Rolling Sea Begins book, no, the Rolling Sea Traitor book 3, Lessons in Love. I'm trying a new format if I can. I've got a new size of book that I'm gonna try, and if it's that size and it works out better because it's a normal size book, what I see as a normal size book, then we'll keep that size for all the books, and they won't be the kind of big things that they are now. I mean, still, they fit in my backpack purse, but they're still kind of bulky. Yeah, they're bigger than what I wanted them to be. So, so we're gonna try a new size. It's 5 inches by, or 5.5 inches, something like that, by something, and hopefully it'll be better. I don't understand how my book got as big as it is when I went and measured the quote regular size book to get the dimensions. I don't know. But maybe, maybe there's a different measuring system for the size of your book. I don't know. But anyway, I looked at that. I did not know that you could look inside the book and find the exact dimensions of the size of your book. I went to Walmart and I happened to see this book and I'm like, that's the size! You know, I'm like, that's that's the perfect size. That's the size I want my books to be. And so I got very excited and kept looking and kept looking and kept looking and finally found the answer to my question, which is what size the book was. And now I'm like super happy because hopefully that'll work better. I'm hoping and praying that it's going to work a lot better and maybe it'll cut the costs of my book, because I wanted to offer it at $7 or $8, Actually, I wanted to offer it at less than that even, but didn't work out that way because they're big books and I guess they cost a lot to print. So to get only $5 out of each book, I ended up having to charge $15 and $20 for the pirate stories and $6 for the children's book, and I only get $2 or $3 from that. So mm. Oh, I'm sorry. I liked what I had on there before I finished it. I was gonna put it one way, and I decided, just in case, because when you're talking to people on the internet, you don't know what you don't know if English is their second language or if it's their first language or what, even though they seem to be talking pretty good English to start out with, you just never know. So I try to make it easier on everybody and just say yes instead of yep. Japanese anime, yeah. So there's one problem with everybody offering me art help, that first of all, everybody seems to draw the same kind of stuff. But second of all, it's not exactly what I need, you know? Um, okay, so, like, I need pirate ships um, and people, but not Japanese anime people. Um, oh, Pookies. Yeah. I just realized something. It's not going to be fun for a minute there. That needs to go there. That can go there. Oh, I don't need that right now. What do I need? Oh, I need this, not that. Okay, how do I do it again? Oh, yeah. Okay, so at the top? Yeah. Okay. We're good. And then one of these days we're going to come in here and put in the candles. So there's supposed to be candles on here too. We're not doing that right now though. Oh, we don't need that connected at the moment. I think I just did that to make sure that it was all connected. Dang, doing that whole thing took us up to 10:45. Wow. It's both sides of back steps. Took us to 10:45. And we started a little bit. We started right around 10 o'clock. Maybe a little bit before. crazy. Okay, so oh no. Everybody always wants to give me art help. And it's like, I appreciate that. But at the moment, I personally cannot draw. Well, I can draw a good landscape, but it's not perfect. But I can draw a good landscape. I just can't draw like people and the ships and stuff. So I used good old AI for that. Some people think it's evil because I don't know how true that is or not, but it says that, I mean, they say that AI actually steals ideas from other people and puts it together in, a slightly different situation. And I don't exactly like the way that the ship was built in the first place, but or that the AI decides that oh so in the description of every single one of my videos on YouTube anyway, they're supposed to be there on Twitch, but sometimes I get behind and forget to do it on Twitch too. But then I go in and fix it later. So um, anyway, there's it says I write books and they're available on Amazon, and um, it tells the names of my books, and then it tells you how to find me on Twitch, YouTube, Amazon, and Discord. But if you're actually looking at my books, it's better that you go and pick one of the links. Because typing in Tina Rash books doesn't always get you what you're looking for. And I'm very confused about that. But Anyway, I'm very confused about that, but I did put the 6 links I keep talking about. I put those in the description below on both Twitch and I'm gonna on YouTube as soon as this video is done. So, which will be in about 9 minutes because I really need to work on that story. I need to. Oh, I didn't get any Christmas movie watching done either, so I'm gonna have to watch 6 of them. Well, Christmas movies and TV shows, so it won't be too bad. And we didn't watch Die Hard 2 either. We will, but I didn't get to watch Toys either. But like I said, I was trying to get those Xbox points by playing the 8 Game Pass games, and yeah, it took a while. It took over 5 hours. Of course, part of that was I got distracted when we were on Dreamlight Valley. It wouldn't have been so long if I hadn't gotten distracted. That's one thing that kind of bugs me is that one of the people I watch, he's always going, what you doing today or something like that, and it's like, well, I'm editing a book, and then he gets upset because you said that you were editing a book. It's like, well, don't ask me about my day if you're gonna, get all upset at me about it. So, so, I get tongue-tied sometimes, and, you may not understand exactly what I'm saying, um, so, so on, in Word, I have a, um, I have a page from Word in there, that says, how to find me on all that, Discord, Amazon, YouTube, Twitch, and, the names of my books. And the only thing it doesn't tell you is that they're available in hardback, paperback, and ebook, but I will fix that as soon as I can. Come on. I don't see how people do that. Above water, I understand, but below water doesn't make any sense. Because people go, I think people are playing on computer, but or PC as everybody calls it. But anyway, I think they're playing on a computer when they do that. But they just go right up like, it's still above ground, and it's crazy. Hey Google, spell striped.
Stripes is spelled S-T-R-I-P-E-S.
Hey Google, spell striped.
Striped is spelled
Thank you.
S-T-R-I-P-E-D.
Okay, so part of when I go silent is talking on Discord to Luna, and part of it is I just kind of, I'm trying to concentrate getting this right. So I'm sorry I'm not talking, but we'll get it. So I'm trying. Oh, dang it! I'm trying to get to the end of the row, and I don't think I'm gonna make it if I stay within the time that I need to. I don't think. Why did I do that? Anyway, I no. I do stuff like that. I'm totally putting in the wrong thing. Um, I may just go to the end of the row, depending on how far we are, because it'll throw me off if I just leave it. But I am going to work on my story today. Trying to get it done by the end of the day, Christmas Eve. So then officially it will be done before Christmas. It's just... Oops, no, that goes there. Okay. Anyway, that way it will actually be done by Christmas, just not the way I meant it to be. Yeah, I can't, like sometimes we have to go grocery shopping, or we had to go to the Verizon store on Sunday, question mark. I'm pretty sure it was Sunday. Because, uh, because their great and wonderful deal was trade in your old phones and we'll give you these new ones for free. Well, I didn't want to do that really. I wanted to be able to find a cat backpack. Um, um, that's a good question. See, the problem is that I'm not a fashionista or whatever you call them. And what I think looks sexy and what somebody else thinks looks sexy is probably two different things. Um, why does that happen every single time? It ends up SOEMTHING instead of SOMETHING. Yeah, describe it. You know, I'm just I'm not good at that kind of stuff, so I didn't write that in. I just, I mean, unless it's like really important to the story, I don't really write in what they're wearing because, I want to leave it up to the imagination of the person. Like if if the person reading my book is a cowboy, then, everybody might be dressed as cowboys. If I don't know what the PC term is, but like if the person's uh cross dresser, the guys might all be wearing, some kind of dresses, or if the person's gay, that kind of clothing. I, I don't want to like generalize what kind of clothing because not everybody wears the same stuff. Um, but I kind of want to leave it as uh whatever you would think that you know whatever you would think is sexy, is kind of clothes that they're wearing, and I I just don't know. I'm not very good at describing clothes. Um, and in my books, I keep saying tight clothes. But tight isn't exactly what I was thinking of because when I think of tight, I kind of think, I mean, I start thinking of, um, like in those, in the westerns, they would like tie the person up with leather and make the water drip on it so it cinches up more and more and more and more until the person is unalived, you know and 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 I don't know who is the person who got squawked at for saying what unalived means, but it's very hard to say unalived, and it's very easy to say what it means. But anyway, um, I'm just really bad at, yeah. Um, um, um. See, but that's a trick that I um learned from. I think that's a trick that I learned from my from Not my, because I didn't write them. I read a lot of them though. Those Nancy Drew books that I like to read from the 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s. Um, I loved those. They were called the Nancy Drew Files, and she like never says what people are wearing unless it's important to the storyline. Because like if you say that Nancy's wearing the tennis outfit in this chapter and it's the same area, or I mean, like the same day, and she hasn't gone to the locker room and changed, you assume that she's still in the tennis outfit. I only bring that up because there's one of the books is Deadly Doubles, and there's a tennis player that the bad guys are trying to kidnap or unalive. I'm not sure which. I think they're just trying to kidnap her. Um, anyway, and Nancy Drew, she goes and she takes her place. So, um, so they like had to put some. I think they had to put some kind of tanning, uh, some kind of tanning oil on her or something, so she looked more like uh, the tennis player, because I don't even remember what the tennis player's name is, but anyway, she's Hispanic and Nancy's, white, so it didn't exactly work, but apparently they looked enough alike that, you know, she could take, she could do the tennis playing for the player, and they could try to, uh, I think her last name was Montenegro or something like that. Teresa? I don't know. Anyway, I don't have any. Um, okay. Ooh, what is ooh? Just a sec. Well, a few seconds, but oh, theme park ticket. Okay, right. I always double check just to make sure. Yep. Okay. I always double check just to make sure, even though it's silly. I know what theme park tycoon do. Theme park tycoon 2 1102. Nope. 25. There we go. And it's Roblox. I totally recommend it. Um, yep, no. I don't think this is it either. No. If I could figure out how. This is getting annoying. I don't get it. Oh, duh. That's not exactly the outfit, but yeah, I know. And enough always has a T at the end. Okay. Dang. That's the wrong color though. And she wouldn't have that sash. Um, yeah, so I have somebody offering me help with my art, and it's like, all I really wanted was, the AI that I was getting, but now I'm kind of stuck with like I'm kind of stuck with the what I can get from Windows Paint. They've got a new AI feature, and at least it's free, but I don't know if I can use that as my cover art. Okay, so like I said, I want to finish the row. Eh, dang it! Keep doing that. It's only the second time, but I keep doing it. Um, I just want to finish the row, and then when we come back to it later, we could actually um, start on on street 7 with doing all the 7, 8, 9, 10. Dang it, 4 more streets. But as soon as we get 7 done, then dang it. As soon as we get 7 done, then we can do uh 8, and then as soon as we get 8 done, we can do 9, and continue on. Anyway, so I'm sorry this is going a little over what I wanted it to be, but as soon as we get this done, then we can end the stream and it'll be all good. Um, so Sam was whining all day yesterday, and then I figured out that his food needed attention. You're probably wondering, how does a cat whine? Um, he comes in and he has a very distinct whiny meow. He has learned how to whine. It's kind of annoying because he can't tell me what's wrong, you know. Um, he can like answer yes or no questions and stuff, but and exchange hi for hello and hello for hi, but the thing is that he would come up to us and say hello, and then we go hi, you know, and so he just thinks that that's normal. It's not really normal, but it's okay. Yeah. Um. Yeah. The only problem is that one of the problems is that I kind of dress Hayden like my uh like my dad, where he might be wearing a t-shirt one day, he might be wearing a nice a casual button-up shirt the next. Yeah, I kind of dressed Hayden up like that, but always wearing blue jeans. Yeah, always wearing blue jeans. Okay, what's the problem here? Oh, okay. Hey, wait a minute. Oh, that's why. Okay. Oh, and then I need to bring. I am serious though. Um, I keep telling everybody, because it's true, I keep telling everybody that I cannot afford art help. Um, people want to offer me art help, but then they want, some kind of payment, and it's like, I can't do it. I've literally got a penny in the bank, and, um, no, actually, I got like 58 cents, if I put it back again. Yeah, I got like 58 cents. So, 58 cents isn't going to get me much. And I understand this. Okay. Anyway, I know 58 cents isn't going to get me much. So, I'm trying to use that as a um, thing to say, it. Well, I've been telling the last two people, if I make book sales, then I therefore have some money. And if I have some money, then I might be able to afford help. But right now, I don't really want help. I think it looks pretty good the way it is. Um, I mean, I realize that one of my book covers has Sean and Jesse holding like six swords and I mean, three three uh they don't even look like daggers, that they're curved. But anyway, it looks funny, but it's AI, so I'm not really bugged by it. I mean, I'm bugged by it, but I'm not like gonna not use it. And that's on one of my book covers. So I need to, what I need to do is go and take new pictures of my book covers because I think the ones I have are the old version, where I was using Minecraft art. And I didn't mind using Minecraft art either. And I'll tell you why, because I build my world from my books in Minecraft. So it had whatever element it needed to be perfect. Now, if my sister could go and take, she's got an editing program on her phone. If I could go and take an AI people, an AI version of Ashley or Sean or Yes, um, for the next book. If I could like take a AI version of Ashley and Sean and put them together in a Chinese, I mean, have my sister put them together in the Chinese food restaurant here in Minecraft, it won't look as good, but it would be like best of both worlds. I don't really like the idea, but it would be best of both worlds. Because the one big thing that I didn't like about the Minecraft art is, there's no people. Or if there are people, they're people with big noses and they don't look different from each other. It reminds me of Jimmy Durante. They said he had a big nose. They called him the schnoz or something like that. And yeah, poor guy. Just because God gave him a big nose, he gets a nickname for it. I bet you he didn't even, mind very much. I hope he didn't mind very much. I hope it was, a I hope it was a happy place thing. I don't know why I say happy place, but something that he didn't like go to bed going grumble, grumble, grumble. They called me a schnoz again. So this is going to take a while. But since we already have the chains up to represent the big cord thingies that go across, it's not too bad. Anyway, hopefully we can get down to the other end and end this stream. But okay, so I probably said this already, but I write books and they are available on Amazon in hardback, paperback, and ebook. And there will be 6 links in the description below. Just click on a link, it should take you right to Amazon where that book is available. I do write a children's series. We'll start out with that one this time. I do write a children's series, and it's called Adopted. And it's because, when you, when you don't have a pet that was born in the house from uh, from cats or dogs that you already had, they're adopted. So, so, um, so it's that kind of thing. But I'm also kind of hoping that, kids that are adopted are going to read that book and go, it's okay to be adopted. Okay. They're not going to be like left with that sense of, why didn't my parents want me? I don't like that idea. Them being left with the idea of, know, why or who were they? Because all that stuff, well, that's the way it is on TV shows. I assume that's the way it is in real life. Um, where you're trying to, I mean, where somebody wants to look it up, but it's sealed because they were like, um, the parents didn't want the kid to know for some reason. Um, that reminded me. I was watching, I don't know, Dr. Phil or something like that. I'm gonna say Dr. Phil. I don't know if it actually was or not, but these two families were in the hospital at the same time, and baby A went to family B, and baby B went to family A. It's just a mix up at the hospital, and it was. I think it. I think they figured it out because, like, when they grew up, you know, one of them was looking at photos and going, I don't look like any of these people. And I think the other one was doing the same thing, and still they were like, this is the one that raised me. I'm gonna stay with this one as my mom. But yeah, that probably would have been a big shock if if there would have been like some kind of custody battle or something like that, and they had to do a blood test to determine if the baby is the father's or something like that, and the answer is no, and it isn't the mother's either. That would have been so weird. That's something my characters never have to worry about because they did have a small problem where the um the doctor. Hold on. Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
can you hear me? Hi,
No.
this is Catherine from Auto Care. How are you doing today?
Okay.
I'm reaching out because auto insurance rates have recently dropped by up to 30%. We're providing no-cost quotes to help people take advantage of these savings. You do have car insurance, correct?
Yes.
Let me connect you to the verifier.
So much for holding. My name is Steve. How are you doing today?
Good, but Renown Health is going to be very pissed that you're using their number.
What did you say?
Renowned Health is going to be very pissed that you were using their number to scam me. I mean, it was all run together, but, there's talking auto insurance. And first of all, I don't think auto insurance places actually call you. They don't want you getting discounts. If there's a discount to be had, if there's a discount to be had, yeah, they'll give it to you if you talk to them about it. But they're not going to reach out and say, hey, you can lower your bill. But yeah, since it said Renown Health, I answered it because, there's a possibility that maybe my father-in-law didn't think ahead and went to the doctor's and needs a ride home. There's just a possibility of that. Well, it obviously wasn't. It was a scam again. He's like, and you could tell the guy was like, what did you say? Like, he was genuinely confused. I don't think he was genuinely confused. But, yeah, you can pretty much tell, words that I don't use all that often. They're kind of foreign when they come out of my mouth. There's, yeah. Anyway. Oh. Hello. Thank you. Well, then how do you spell it? Oh, okay. Yeah, so I didn't want my art to look cartoony. I wanted it to look like the um like the Nancy Drew books I like to read. They've got somebody drew that. And it looks kind of like a it doesn't look like a real person. You can tell it was drawn. And I mean, it doesn't look like a alien or anything. It's just, you can tell it's a drawn person, like on Scooby Doo or He Man or something like that, you know, but better. I I liked the art on there. But anyway, I was like trying to make my books the next step up from that. But AI keeps coming up with weird stuff like 3 feet and uh, like they'll have one left foot and two right feet, or they'll be sitting on a rock and for some reason instead of having the 2 feet that they could have out in front of them, they've got like they're sitting on a foot and uh they're sitting on a foot and they have 2 feet out in front of them. It's so weird. So I think we're getting there because I saw a pole in the distance. And literally, the only reason why we're going all the way down there is so we get the pole going in the correct direction. It doesn't have to go all the way down there. See, doesn't this look nice? I love this. It's polished tough slab and polished tough wall. Anyway, I love it. Okay, maybe we just have a pole there then. I thought it had some kind of significance, like it was almost done, but I don't think it is. Well, either way. I wish I could play Christmas movies in the background. Have my Christmas movies playing while I'm building this, and maybe that's what I should do, is stop recording and just, like, while I'm having lunch and, well, actually it's breakfast for me, but, after I'm done having, we'll call it brunch fest, I can finish this, but I don't think I want to do that. I just want to finish. So I am sorry it's a little long, but it'll be very satisfying when we're done. Okay. So I said about the books and I said about the description below. And if you're watching me on Twitch right now, well, if you're watching me on Twitch right now, I can't see the thing. I have 58 cents. That's it. Yeah, see, they always come up with I'll give you art help if you give me money. And this one's offering a reasonable amount, $20, as the fee. But I've literally got 58 cents in the bank. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to scam anybody. I am serious. I have 58 cents in the bank. And um, sometime today, I'm gonna need to fill up the kitty food containers because I think that's another reason why Sam is whining, because he sees that the food is um, is disappearing from the bowl. He knows that there's 3 of them, and he doesn't want to starve. Well, I've got more food. I just gotta, um, I just gotta be able to get it to the bowl. So, and oh, and that's something. Um, they're always saying that dog food, cat food has like raw chicken ingredients, so you can get like salmonella from it. I mean, from touching it, right? Well, at places like Walmart, and I'm only saying that one because that's where we got it from. But places like Walmart have scoops that you can use, and it takes a little more time. That's why it looks funny. Dang it. Okay. Anyway. I was like, what is missing from this? It really was. I was like, what is missing from this? And yeah. This is crazy. And, sometimes my husband's like, you gotta spend money to make money. But, really, the only thing that I need to spend money on is making sure we have the electricity and internet paid. So, as much as I want to make 1,000,000 book sales, preferably by next Christmas, I'm not expecting it, but as much as I want to make 1,000,000 book sales by next Christmas, even if I had enough book sales to pay the electricity and internet bill for the rest of the for the rest of my life, that'd be great. I would like to make enough. Okay, so I would like to make enough so I can make sure that the food bank has good food, and so we can make sure that cancer is not a thing in any shape or form, that COVID is not a thing in any shape or form, and and I've got one, not counting cousins, I've got one more family member on my mom's side, and then when she's gone, there'll be none. It'll be just us cousins, and you know, that makes me sad. Anyway, I would like to be able to, when it is her time, to make sure that she gets the best medical care ever, and maybe we can keep her around a little bit longer. But also I'd like to do Make-A-Wish and Toys for Tots and the angel trees, at the different stores. I know Walmart does it um, every year. I think every year. Pretty sure. I think there was one year that they didn't put it up, and I could not figure out why. But every year since then. Oh, maybe COVID. I didn't think of that. But see, that's the thing. Even when there's a natural disaster like, well, I guess it's not natural, but anyway, even if there's a disaster like COVID, you know, people don't just stop being poor and they need a little help. Of course, why are they being poor? Because they keep raising the price of how much it costs to live. And then yeah, they do a minimum wage raise and it makes people feel better, but it's not what needs to happen. We need to lower the cost of living. We need to lower it. It's ridiculous. And the cost of living right now is more than ridiculous, actually. And I think my husband said that people in Reno are paying a little over $4 a gallon for gas. I think, one of the last times we talked to my parents about gas, it was five something. Um, I know people are trying to get everybody to do electric cars, but you know, but I'm kind of still scared of an electric car. First of all, the first few of them did have the potential of blowing up. I don't know that they've fixed that or not. And, it was just these poor people are driving their car down the freeway trying to get to work, or maybe they're going shopping at the shopping mall, but they don't have one in their town, so they need to go to the next town over or whatever. And, and their car blew up. And you can't tell me that it was their time to go or something like that. If they hadn't had the electric car, they'd still be alive. Because all they were doing was driving it. And they went, I think they went up above a certain speed. Anyway. Anyway, you know, I want to be able to do good things, like make a wish. I would like to be able to take my kids to Disneyland too. Because I kept saying when Ashley was 7 and she's like 23 now. Um, yeah, that makes sense because 25 minus 2. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, um, I kept saying we're going to go to Disneyland. And I wanted to go. I really did. I wanted to have the money and everything. But we never did because we just didn't have strong enough jobs to um, make sure that we had 2 jobs and still could not pay $900 rent and all the bills and food. And he was working um when Luke was a baby, he was my husband was working like 24/7. If he came home, it was a miracle, which is illegal in California and I think all 50 states. And since Guam's a kind of United States thing, it's a it's like we own the land or something like that. Or at least that's the way I hear it. Um, anyway, probably in Guam too then. Um, and that just brought me a good question. What the heck do you call a person who lives in Guam? Are they like Guamians or that doesn't sound right. But you know, what do you call them? I never thought about that before. Cuz I know it's never good to assume, but I assume that there's people who live there. You know what? It helps if you switch to the thing that you actually need instead of using the thing that you don't need. Okay. Cookie dough Yule log. But it's like in the shape of a pie slice. That's weird. Looks good though. Um oh, no, maybe that's two different things. Cuz that one looked like a Yule log. This one oh no. And okay. Okay, no, it just looks like a kind of a tunnel thing. I couldn't pronounce that even if it had stayed on the screen long enough to read it. Yeah, because they said my aunt has leukemia or something like that. And, um, and that doesn't sound right for some reason. But anyway, whatever. She's got some kind of cancer. And that's what they said. And I was thinking, if we could get my aunt and everybody else's family member that has some kind of cancer, if we can get them the expert in that kind of cancer, then maybe we'd be able to save more people. I don't want to be um I don't want to be selfish. It's not just my aunt that needs saving. It's other people's aunts, other people's kids. Um, there's this one kid on I don't know, it was either America's Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent, something like that. Okay, anyway, it's Got Talent show, and he had brain cancer, and uh, they formed a choir to like make everybody aware of that uh even though you have that, you're still alive, um and you can still be brave, and you can still go and do what you want to do. I think that's what he said. Anyway, it was cool. Him and his sister were singing, and there's a whole bunch of doctors and friends with them, and it was awesome. And I hope they figured out how to get him to be able to live, but usually when you get cancer in your brain, but I really hope that they found a way, because he was a good singer. Not just because he was a good singer though. It's mostly because he's a people, and I just have it in my head that people should live until they're um people should live until they're and until they're older. Dude, ew, that looks undercooked. I don't know if it is, but it looks undercooked. Um, turkey leg. Uh, um, why don't we get these two done real quick? It's not gonna be real quick, but um, but that's the other thing I would like to be able to do. Like there's a kid out there right now who really wants to go to Disneyland, and their parents can't afford it, and they've got some kind of thing to where you know I'm pretty sure they've got some kind of thing to where it's going to be hard to go to Disneyland, but they really want to go. Like maybe they've got cancer and they've only got supposedly 3 months to live. I'd like to be able to say, here, take this money and go. You know, and you don't got to pay it back or anything. Just maybe send me pictures, but I mean, show me the pictures afterwards. I don't need a copy of their pictures. I just, want to see them. Um, what else? Oh, Yeah, that's the only thing I can ever think of is the angel tree, the angel tree and Toys for Tots at Walmart. They don't always have the Toys for Tots out though. And that bugs me. Cause like maybe you think this kid over here might like this, but I guess they want to make sure that they get exactly what they wanted for Christmas. Um, I don't know if that's the deal or not, but they don't always put out the Toys for Tots box. But they definitely put out the tree and have um, their long tags where you can put um, you can put what the kid wants for Christmas and what size they are, if they if they need jeans or t-shirts or whatever. Um, or like the one year when we got to donate, um, I just kept getting this idea that the little girl that I was shopping for might have been cold when she goes outside the house. Might be cold when she's in the house, but definitely when she goes outside the house, she might be cold. So, so we went a little bit above and beyond and got this little girl a jacket. And I wasn't thinking, for some reason I saw 4 years old, so I wasn't thinking, um, like Dudley from Harry Potter kind of little girl. I was thinking of, small little 4 year old. I think she was 4. Um, I was wondering why she wanted Barbies. And I think she wanted Barbies and Legos. So we bought a Barbie and a small Lego set. I think we ended up spending $50 on each kid, and the other one, the one that my husband got was a 14-year-old boy, 11, 12, anyway, somewhere in his early teens or late preteens, not sure which. Um, but anyway, it said that he wanted a pair of jeans. I mean, a pair of pants, blue jeans, and it also said that he liked Legos, so we got Legos for him too. And I think what you do is you go and take the tag and you take it with you while you're shopping in the store, and you shop for you shop for the person on the tag, and um and then you tie that tag to the shopping bag. You like tie off the shopping bag and you tie the tag to it. And then it's like Santa bought it for them. They don't know who bought it, but it got bought. That's the important part. Yeah, I don't need recognition. I just, it made me feel good to be able to help somebody have an awesome Christmas. I mean, it would have been cool if we would have, um, if we would have met the little girl and the young man, and they said thank you, but we weren't in it for that. We were in it for helping somebody um have a great Christmas. because we've had so many times where it's like, okay, we need to be able to afford Christmas presents. We got two kids, and we couldn't do it, or or she was asking, Ashley was asking for ice skates one year, and we didn't know where we were going to get that from, and they were having a angel tree like thing at the they were having an angel tree like thing at the might have been the people who stole our kids. It might have been the helper lady for that put Ashley in for it or some. I think that's what it was. Anyway, and she got ice skates, a brand new pair of ice skates. And so I had to go and I think we bought me a pair at a garage sale or something like that. I don't remember where we got mine, but we got me some ice skates so I could skate with her. But the only problem is that I am deathly afraid of falling on my butt. I am deathly afraid of falling on my butt. And so, oh, we also got me ice skates because I tried to do the ice skating class at the college, but she was telling me bend my knees, and I've never done that in my life. I learned how to I know learned how to roller skate. I did not bend my knees like that. Like she was trying to, she was basically trying to tell me to do a curtsy the whole time, and it's like, I've watched the ice skaters on the cutting edge. I've watched the ice skaters on, um, was it Ice Princess? I think it's Ice Princess. It doesn't sound right though. Anyway, and I've watched like the people in the Olympics. Nobody is skating like that. And I was really good at finding the ruts the ruts in the ice. So it wasn't it wasn't the thing for me. I do much better on roller skates. Although I don't know if I can do roller skates now. Uh, I kept finding the ruts in the road, and I've got a bad back, so I've got scoliosis, and as far as I can tell, that just makes it just makes my back hurt sometimes, and like especially during the winter, um, it makes my back hurt sometimes, and um, and it kind of feels like my spine is being pushed down. If that makes any sense. I mean, it probably doesn't make any sense. Okay. Oh, good. Yay. Okay. So we're just finishing these two houses, And then I've got to go and work on my story. I keep calling it a story because it's like it was supposed to be one book. I was going to write the one book and that was it. Well, then the one story, I got this idea that we should have the captain's daughter fall in love with the first mate's first son, and um and her dad doesn't like it. I got that idea, and that's what I've gone with. And um so far that I've written, there's like 47 books or something like that. Um, like, Esperanza's party goes straight into the island, and then the island goes straight into, the island goes straight into Lessons in Love. Lessons in Love goes straight into Test in Love. Test in Love goes straight into Caught. Caught goes straight into, Solitary Confinement. And then there's Sweet Revenge, I think? Not entirely sure. No. Summer Journey. And if not, there's a book in between that one and Summer Journey. But anyway, something like that. I could look it up right now, but I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to get these houses done because, see, this one. Oh boy. Okay. This one is the blue one. That one, I could take that out right now, but I'll get confused. I don't know why I get confused, but I do. I got confused on another street that, I got confused on another street, that we didn't need the bamboo house. And it's like, well, it's one of the colors. So yeah, we do need the bamboo house. So I had to go through all of my houses and make sure that they're the right color. So that's why we're not on like 8, 9, 10 already, is I had to go back through and make sure that all of the colors are correct. Anyway, so now we're going down, the next street. We're going down 7. That's what it is. It's also Dark Oak Street, I think. I don't know. I had to go and change where Cherry Street was, though, because I wanted it to be the 3rd street. So when that one comes up, you'll see that there's Dark Oak Street, this one, and then the next one, Mangrove? No, not Mangrove. Yeah. Wait, yeah. Anyway, the next one should be Mangrove, I think. It's that color right there. And then the next one won't be cherry, it'll be pale. And then, oh, see, one of the colored lines has, one of the, Okay, it's either the stripped wood or the planks has it go bamboo, then crimson, then warped. And I decided it was going to be because the other wood is the other way. It goes crimson, warped, bamboo. So that's the way that we're doing it is crimson, warped, bamboo. Oh gosh, wow. Okay. I'm sorry this is so long, but I just wanted to finish. Okay, that'll do. I'm just like, we can finish that later. Ugh. See, I don't need the bamboo there, but I will totally forget that we need the bamboo if I take it out now. So, little confusing. We'll get it figured out and it'll be great. See, my husband put in all those lanterns and I think that looks good. It looks nice. I was thinking, I don't know if I'm going to do it, but I was thinking that we should have some cars. Okay, so that we should have some cars in the driveways. Make it look like people actually live there. Instead of just being like um, like a housing project that just got built. Because that's basically what it is, but it's supposed to look like a representative house. And the 2 stories are for the larger families. The 1 stories are for the smaller families where, like, maybe they've got 1 kid. The only thing is that wait, I went to Haunted Mansion at Walt Disney World in Florida in '86 for a SCHC. What's a SCHC? I really want to know this. What's an SCHC? I was expecting it to say a school, a school holiday or something like that. A school trip. That's what I meant. A school trip. And it didn't say that. It said SCHC. So I'm definitely going to be asking them what that is, if that's the whole sentence. If it's, if it's aimed at me. Because I always say, please comment in the comments below. But I also say, if you can't think anything to say, you could tell me about your last trip to Disneyland. You could tell me about your trip to Disney World. You could share what it's like to be at Shanghai Disney, because I think I'm too chicken to go there. I've got a problem if there's a language barrier, It's not that I don't want to talk to them. It's just that I don't know how and I don't want to say it wrong because one time our Spanish teacher was telling us about I think it was the one I had in ninth grade, and her name happened to be Tina. But anyway, she was her and her husband were vacationing in somewhere where they speak Spanish, and because I can't remember where at the moment. But anyway, they're vacationing somewhere where they speak Spanish, and her husband meant to say that he was very grateful for the meal, and he liked it, and he accidentally said he was pregnant because the words are similar. I think she said that she quickly uh, translated it to what he really meant to say. But yeah, it's been that long, I don't remember. And she'd probably be upset to know that I took that many years of Spanish class and I haven't been using it. I barely remember what some of the stuff I learned. Um, See, I was thinking, okay, dumb thought, but I was thinking that it would come as easily as English, um, after a while, that I would just know it. And no, it just wasn't sinking in. So, not that I didn't want to learn, just, not that I didn't want to learn, it wasn't, uh, it just kind of wasn't meant to be. And so, I just stopped using it. I wasn't good at it anyway. Like, I really had to go to the bathroom one time. And I said it mostly correctly, I think. And she wasn't allowing bathroom passes that day. So, I needed to go, but I don't think she was allowing bathroom passes. So I had to wait until the 10 minutes. Okay, so you're supposed to be able to go to the bathroom and get to your class, even if it's on the other side of the school, in 10 minutes. I don't think so. That was a pretty big campus. I mean, I could see it if you had a all indoor school, maybe, but not with that all of the classrooms were uh facing the outside. I'll show you what I mean when I build the high school. I'm still debating whether I want to put the high school where I've got those houses over there, or if I want to put it where I had it before. Because where I had it before was kind of working, but it made the street a lot longer than it was supposed to be. Anyway, I was pretty proud of myself. I went and made the football field and everything. And I don't mean like pride comes before a fall kind of proud of myself. Just, I was happy. Because I've built that thing, at least 3 times. And I still don't exactly know how to build the under the bleachers part, but the rest of it usually looks really good. Okay, wait a minute. So we gotta... Yeah. Alright. Okay. Don't, 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 don't. Okay. So yeah, after this, I am gonna watch Christmas movies and work on my story at the same time. Um, the thing was that my husband said, we should watch Die Hard, and it's like, okay, yeah, it's early enough in the season that we can watch Die Hard because it happens at Christmas time, and and I was gonna have it on the computer so I could keep working on my story, but we ended up putting it on the TV, and that's kind of it's kind of annoying to have it on the computer, but because I go and take my story and I put it into a program called Speechlo that reads it back to me, and if I don't have it, if I don't have it a certain way, I'll hear that and I'll be able to fix it in, in the file. Well, it kind of gets in the way because, like both programs are using the same speakers. So anyway, I ended up putting on the TV and that worked out pretty good. But I can't do that with the... Well, I could do that with Christmas movies, but I'm not going to. Well, I call them Christmas movies, but they're, Christmas movies, Christmas TV shows. Well, if we do up here first, then this is a lot easier to put together than the other part. This is a lot easier to put together than the first floor. In this house right here, the 2-story that I'm working on, I designed this all by myself. Well, almost all by myself, I should say. I got inspiration from a house that TSMC-Minecraft built. But I went and made it even better, I think. And you may be wondering how I come up with the height of my house and, maybe why it's so huge. Because, a regular Minecraft builder would probably never build it this big. Yeah, I get claustrophobic. So if I feel like I in real life could not if I feel like I in real life could not walk around this building without feeling claustrophobic, then it gives me big anxiety when I don't make the buildings in Minecraft big enough. It gives me anxiety. So I started building them a little bigger, and then I started building them like I was building the building 5 like 3 high, and it was like, this is too I always had to go back outside again. And then I was building it 4 high, and I'm like, this is still not right. And then I was building it 6 high, because you can put the lights at the 5 high spot, and that's HIG, by the way. Anyway, you could put the lights at the 5 spot. Well, that wasn't working either. So then I started making it 6, and then I decided I like putting the lights at the 6, so I was making it 7. And then when I decided to go and take the redstone and do the I put the lights at the 6 still, but I also I put the wiring on the 7 and then the roof on the 8. So you never see the wiring. Well, if you're lucky, you never see the wiring. Okay, I gotta do this in the roof. Let's make sure everything else is okay though first. And then we will do the roof. The roof is annoying. But we cannot do the front steps and the garages, because that's the next thing. Because it goes telephone, electrical poles, whatever you want to call these things here. Goes those, and then the back steps, and then painting the house, and then the front steps. I don't know, I started doing it that way. It seems to be working. I'm hungry. But I want to finish this house. See, if I finish this house, then I can take the thing off the next house, and then we can go to the oak house. We can take the marker off of the bamboo house, and then we can go to the oak house, and we're not going to do that well, I'm not going to say we're not going to do that today. We're just not going to do that right now. The next chapter in the book that I'm working on has 6 pages, 7 pages, something like that. Wasn't very much. And then we're gonna have Jonah answer the door, and you'll have to read the book to find out what happens. See, my husband's like, you shouldn't tell them, you should make them read it. Well, they're not gonna want to read it if I don't tell them something that happens in the book to, a teaser. So, like, usually, usually a book has a teaser on the back cover, so you're like, you read the book. You read the synopsis. That's what it's called. Synopsis. It's just a little teaser for the book. So, you're saying, like, maybe you have the thing of, okay, I'm going to use that one because that's the one I know the best. So on the back of the book, you have that, Hayden is, Hayden was at the party at Shatana's. It ended, and he had to go home. He's the last one to leave. And he goes right. He decides not to. He decided not to stay the night because he's got to work in the morning. Which, why is he at the party that late if he's got to work in the morning? But if you knew what Morgan looked like, you'd understand. Because Morgan works at Shatana's. But anyway, he goes, to the right toward the corner. And, while he's walking, he's like super happy. He's, maybe even giddy. He's like, yes, I just had the best date ever, and, he's gonna, he's probably thinking that he wants to get to know her even better and maybe someday they'll get married and all that stuff, but he's like super happy and gets to the corner and he looks across the street and he sees this limo. The limo is definitely blocking his way and it looks a little suspicious under the street light that has been somebody broke it, so it does not work. Anyway, it looks a little scary under that dead street light. So, oops, you're not supposed to say that word. Okay, unalived street light. And so he decides, instead of crossing the street and then going right like he was going to do, he's just going to go right. So he gets a little down the street and kind of looks back and he sees that there's some guys coming out of that limo. And he starts walking a little faster. Then he sees that they've got guns. He starts walking even faster. I think he actually started running at that point. Anyway, and he gets halfway to the other corner from the spot that he was at, and they pin him. They pin him to the ground with his face toward the street. Okay, that is done. Yay. And the oops. No. That is a bad thing. Mama did a bad thing, not you. Sam's looking like, what'd I do? Okay. Anyway, so the limo's turned around by then, pulls up, and they throw him in the limo, and he starts to yell for help. He gets the first 3 letters of help out, and yeah, because I don't know that you're supposed to say that word either, but anyway, he gets the first 3 letters of help out, but one of the guys goes and takes his gun and smashes it into Hayden's face, knocking him out. And as he's passing out, it goes, Pah! So like there'd be a synopsis like that on the back of the book, so you want to read it. You get all excited for it. Well, I don't know what to say and what not to say, so anyway, like I said, my books are available on Amazon in hardback, paperback, and ebook. And I'll give you the short form this time. They are Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, Hard Times, Esperanza's Party, The Island, and Coral. Coral is part of the adopted series and it's for children. I would say probably a level 2, maybe a level 3 reader, but it's for children. And again, if you're watching me on Twitch right now, please follow and chat. If you're watching me on YouTube right now, please like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell, and please get those valid public watch hours up. I haven't checked it today, but last time I checked, it was still in the 1,500 area, and I need it higher, please. Yeah, you know, if you want to comment on, your last trip to Disney, or tell me what, nicely, of course, but tell me, what maybe I could do to, further my likability on this. Like maybe shorter videos or longer videos, or I don't know, whatever. I'll try to, get it more to what everybody wants. Okay, we're done. Yay. Yeah, so I'm gonna park right here under this tree. That way, if it rains while I'm not on the game, I won't get wet. And I will see you in the next stream or video.